Hello, comic book guys and gals, and welcome to Comic Mag Musings Live. We are going to do a live unboxing, and before that, I'll go through a quick little haul of some comic books that I picked up earlier today from Let Go for about $20. Well, exactly $20. Couple of cool ones, but all in really, really rough shape. All, for the most part, low grade with water damage. There might be one or two that are mid grade, but that's about it. So, hope everyone's doing their best to stay sequestered, stay safe. Had plans for earlier this week to take mini musings to San Diego and do SeaWorld and Legoland, but obviously that got canceled. So he was on spring break. We went up north, just a couple hours up north, and visited a couple hours north of there, the Grand Canyon. And he seemed to enjoy himself, and he got to see some snow and play in that for a little while before heading back. So we'll see what happens from this point forward. A lot of people are working remotely. Unfortunately, a lot of people can't work at all, which really stinks. And things can be tough on those that are primarily reliant upon service jobs in the service industry, as well as the elderly who are reliant upon medications, some services being available, fighting through crowds at grocery stores to get staples that they need. So it's a crazy time right now. Hopefully we all kind of pause, realize that in one way, shape, or form that we're blessed, and maybe consider some of those who are less fortunate and determine that we'll do something to help them out. Hey, Roger, how are you? Thank you for joining, sir. I appreciate it. I had to stop your latest video, part 2 of the Amazing Heroes, to do the live stream, but I will resume it. So far, my favorite cover is the Johnny Quest one, because that was and still is my favorite cartoon of all time. Loved it. Loved that cartoon. And I think, that's Hanna-Barbera, and I think that's where they experimented with saving money by producing the same background scenes and just changing the foreground a little bit in each one, moving the foreground scenes forward through the background scenes and holding on to the foreground for 1 or 2 seconds more than they normally did. And they saved a tremendous amount of money doing that, and that became a formula specifically for Hanna-Barbera, maybe for other companies as well, I don't know. Spider Comics 7, if you haven't seen his latest video, really good. It's a tag video of your top 50 keys, and his was really good. Would put mine to shame. I don't know if I'm going to do one. There is some work involved. If I did them, I'd probably do like a top 50 raw, and then later on like a top 50 graded. But I'm just not really a key collector. And so I think I would be pretty deficient following the guidelines of that one. Yes, Race Bannon was excellent. And Bandit was the bomb too. Just a great show. Loved it. So I don't know. I'm still kind of kicking around that idea. I don't have a whole lot of keys. I mainly just identified years ago, here are the titles I want to collect. For the most part, 1 through 20. High grade to a minimum level that I wanted, maybe a reading copy of each as well, and just kind of went forward with that. Didn't really pay much attention to whether or not a key that wasn't within that range, an issue that wasn't within that range was a key and was going to be a good investment or anything like that. So I don't necessarily have a lot of big keys. Well, true, but I think this one was the top 50 keys that you have in your collection. I'll have to watch it again, but I think that's what it was. And so if there's some leeway there, then yeah, I could pick like my top 50 favorite. I just don't know that that would be abiding by the theme of that particular tag video. I'd have to look at that again. So why don't we get started with some books that I picked up earlier today off the Let Go. I got these for $20. They're all in rough shape, low grade. There might be one or two that are mid grade, but for the most part, they all have some sort of water damage and they're just beaten up and more than well loved. But what are you going to do? They were good enough to pick up. The couple that sold them to me were happy to get rid of them, and I guess I got, at the very least, some reading material. So we have, I'm not sure about this numbering system, but Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery. And I'm not sure. I think you'd have to look on the inside cover for the number of these. Find out what issue number it is. I don't think that that has anything to do with it. But I guess there's one way to find out, isn't there? So there's an example, right? Water damage. And they're all like that. Number 61. So this one is number 61. Yeah. And we've got Walt Disney, The Beagle Boys. Another gold key, 15 center. And by gosh, by golly, I guess we can do the same thing here. What would you rather be doing on a Saturday night? I ask you that. Than watching me crack open a Walt Disney comic book to find out what issue number it is. This is number 15. Number 15. I think the previous gold key was 51. This one is 15. And it is in rough shape. But what are you going to do? All right, we've got Tomb of Dracula, number 42. And I think, Roger, you may know, if you look there, I think that is a store just decided that they're going to mark up the price because that's on the book itself, and they just put a 30-cent sticker over the 25. I think this is a 25-cent issue. So there were one or two like this, and wherever they came from, I think the store decided they wanted another nickel profit, and so they put a 30-cent sticker covering up the original price. Rascals. We have the Incredible Hulk, number 190. Decent book. Like I said, all in low grade, nearly all of them with water damage of some sort. But it was $20, and I didn't really bicker. So War is Hell. Love this title. Number 14. I really think the war comics are undervalued, have been for a while. There's a, hey Jackson, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by, sir. There's a loyal war comic following, has been for years. But I feel that that's a market that's primed to grow in the next 5 to 10 years. Even in the EC war comics, they pale in comparison price-wise to the horror and the crime. Hey Jackson, I'm just doing a quick haul of some books that I got earlier today off of Let Go for an Andrew Jackson. And they're all low grade. There might be one or two that are mid, but they're pretty much all low grade. Most, if not all of them, have some sort of water damage. Action Comics number 436. And it looks like Perry White is trying to steal Superman's gig. House of Mystery number 205. That guy is in well-loved condition. What a cool cover. The pink and the coffin lining definitely pops. Action Comics number 420. If you look, you can see the water damage at the top. In addition to obviously all the creases and everything else. And we have Mr. Miracle number 9. Again, you can see through the title the water damage, the staining. Oh, you have that House of Mystery, Roger? That's a great looking cover. And we got some more. Iron Man number 70. Where Monsters Dwell number 36. It's a cool looking cover. I'd never even heard of this Archie title. That Wilkin Boy, number 5. The Marvel Value stamp in Iron Man. Let's find out. So Roger's asking if the Iron Man number 70 has the Marvel stamp. We're gonna see. That's weird. Are you interested in Marvel Value stamps, Roger? Let's find out. Oof, this cover is beat. There it is. The Incredible Hulk, right? This is your Marvel value stamp for this issue. So there it is. It does indeed have it. That's about all this copy has going for it, but it does have the Marvel value stamp. It has a cover that's pretty much detached, but by gosh, it's got the Marvel value stamp. Let's see, let's get this thing back in there. All right. And done. So we've got That Wilkin Boy number 5. Weird. Never heard of this Archie title before. And I'm not a big Archie collector. They're good reads. That's about it. Little Archie number 98. 25 center. We've got Ghosts number 42. Cool looking cover. Archie at Riverdale High, number 1. Yeah, I've never heard of that one either. I've never heard of Archie at Riverdale High. There's so many titles, though, I guess, that if you're not into them, you may never have heard of them. The Tomb of Dracula, number 38. Marvel Superheroes, featuring the Hulk and Submariner, number 37. With water damage, a subscription crease, and a mangled corner, among other things. That's it, absolutely. Just keep looking. As they're out there, it requires some effort, and at the very least, a lot of them are really good reads. We have Ghost Rider number 16, again with the store sticker they put on there. Rascals, trying to squeeze another nickel out of you. We have Creatures on the Loose, featuring Man Wolf. This is number 36. I think this is 1 or 2 issues after his introduction. And we've got House of Mystery number 235. Great looking cover. Not necessarily a great looking issue, but a great looking cover. And lastly, the reason I got this lot And it's sad that it's in such poor condition, a 1.0, maybe a 1.5, but it's definitely in rough condition. But these comics and this one for $20, I went ahead and jumped on it. It's just in rough condition. Fortunately, everything's there, nothing's missing, and it's hanging on at the staples. So it's still attached to both staples. But I'm saying that's a 1.0, 1.5 on a good day. I don't think you can get 1.8. It's just got too many issues going on. Especially this guy really lets it down. But yeah, exactly. I do want this guy eventually, but in high grade, and I just don't see that in the cards. Ghost Rider is one of my faves. Wait a minute. I think you might like Ghost Rider too, right, Roger? A little bit, just a little bit. So yeah, I went through it. And the inside is certainly a lot better looking than the cover. But that was my $20 Let Go haul from earlier today. So I was excited to get them. It's a shame they were in such poor condition, but at least I rescued them from becoming even poorer in condition. And at least I've got some reading material. Yeah, exactly. So a little bit. I've got some reading material for the quarantine if needed. This is Crystal Light. All right, on to the unboxing, mystery unboxing. It's this guy right here. Don't know what's in it. It's been a while, so we will find out what's in here together. Got the trusty box cutter. So at least cut the tape. I don't know how trusty it is. This is not a left-handed box cutter. That's the problem. This is made for righties. Oh, yes, it's an Iron Man glass. Yes, I got these years and years and years. Someone probably got them for me. There's an Incredible Hulk one, Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man. Can't remember if there are any other. There's either 4 or 6. I think I still have them all. All right, so let's crack this guy open. All right. We've got peanuts and some bubble wrap. So I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this out without making a mess, so I'll just pretty much do it anyways. All right, and this is what we have. So we'll take off the bubble wrap. Okay. And then it's in a priority mailer. Oh, okay. Cool. So it is Marvel Spotlight version 2, number 3. That is what we have in the mystery box. So it's Marvel Comics, November of '79, featuring Captain Marvel, Doug Monk's story, Pat Broderick and Gene Day art, Al Milgrom cover. 9.8 off-white to white pages. I know Roger goes crazy for slabs. Not, but I do. I like raw comics, but I like graded comics more. To me, they're easier to protect, easier to display, and if push came to shove, easier to sell. But they're not easier to read. How the heck am I supposed to read this? Fortunately, with some of mine, I've got a beat up reading copy. And for others, there are so many cheap trades out there. The only issue with the trades are you don't get to see the advertisements, stand soapbox, letters pages, things like that truly make the raw comics special. All right. Well, and since I've got 2 super cool viewers in here joining me, kind enough to join me in the chat, I'll do another one. This is my last one. So we'll open this guy up. Uh-oh. Hopefully it's not damaged, but we'll find out. All right, no tape, so I guess I can just get this guy open. All right. They smell like plastic, Roger. That's not right. You need that musty, old cigar, acidic paper smell. We got some bubble wrap, and we got this on top, providing extra protection. All right, and bubble wrap and newspaper, that works. All right, took the bubble wrap off. So I think it was protected from any damage the box may have sustained. And all right, I'll carefully do this. There we are. Okay. I think that'll do it. One. Oh boy. All right. I'm excited to show this one to you guys. You know what a big Conan fan I am. So we've got Savage Sword of Conan #1. Just a beautiful, beautiful cover. Don't think that this was on my top 20 for 2020. Probably just because I don't know why. I could only have 20. But I'm definitely excited to have this one. Love it, love it, love it. So it's Savage Sword of Conan #1, Marvel Comics, August of '74. Black Mark series by Gil Kane begins. Red Sonja story. King Cole article by Glenn Lord. Roy Thomas stories. Boris Vallejo cover. John Buscema, Neil Adams, and Esteban Maroto art. 9.4 white pages. Just a beaut. And on the back, what do you know? This might be, well, this is LaSalle University correspondence. Tell me that's not timely. Maybe correspondence school is going to be making a comeback. So that is one I'm extremely happy to have. All right. Well, that's it. Those are the comics that I had to show, plus one bonus. I appreciate both of you sticking around and determining what they are with me. I hope you have a wonderful evening and a great weekend. And I'm signing off, but remember, we're taking over the world one comic book at a time. See you, Jackson. See you, Roger.